Hello ladies and gentlemen, Zackary here bringing you another Minecraft Let's Build an Airbase episode. We are returning back to our series with episode 14 of the series, and we're back on the Crimson Peaks joint airbase. So overall, not a whole lot has really changed. Well, I say that, but you know, pretty good amount has happened since the last episode. One of the main additions that we're going to be covering in this episode is the addition of the McDonald's. As you guys saw in the time lapse, we went ahead and built a McDonald's right next to Chick-fil-A, which obviously would make sense. We got a little fast food hub here, as the dormitories are kind of planned to be right across the road from this area, and plus it's right next to one of the main gates into the actual airbase part, so really easy for you know, air crew and, you know, staff and all that stuff to easily come during lunch or after their shift or whatever and get themselves a bite to eat. You know, again, going off that theme of having some fast food restaurants on base, which is actually something that is actually legit, and actually quite a few bases I've seen actually do have a McDonald's actually on the base itself. So kind of cool there. But yeah, anyways, we got the McDonald's here in front of us, going with the nice modern look to it, which pretty much all the McDonald's are kind of sporting, and overall I'm just really happy with the way it came out. Like the Chick-fil-A, I had two helpers. I had Trench Fighter 8 and Vin helping out with this project, so big thanks to those guys again for helping out with this project, and again, you know, making the project a lot easier for myself to complete, and just helping speed up the process and all that stuff. So big thanks to those guys as well. So this episode we're going to be pretty much focusing in on the McDonald's and a little bit of surrounding area here. We do have a new structure that's kind of been in the works here, which is something that's not done yet, so we're not going to cover that just yet. We're going to go ahead and focus in on the McDonald's here. Now the structure is not 100%, or this area isn't 100% complete. There's still some detail in the planters that I want to get done, and I also, like the Chick-fil-A over there, I still need to do like all the AC units and different, you know, stuff like that that's on the roof here. So that's something I gotta definitely add in. But for the most part, the structure is pretty much complete. Not really a whole lot to cover in that general idea, or in that general sense. Now with the McDonald's, we did have to adjust the fire station a bit, and we're gonna go and talk about that here in a second. But let's just go ahead and focus in on the McDonald's to begin with. So with the McDonald's, it's based off of the modern look to them. So we looked at a couple different pictures, and I looked at one actually especially close to my house that, you know, I used for reference in terms of building this. So we got the new modern look to it, the little kind of half arch here that goes across, or a little slanted kind of eyebrow type looking thing. The iconic M there, and just, you know, nice look to it, and just a nice kind of neutral gray, white, and tan kind of color scheme. Really nice, really modern, really simplistic looking. And I do like the McDonald's a lot just because it has that modern fast food restaurant type look, and just overall looks really kind of simple, but you know, that simpleness to it really makes it look nice. So yeah, that's the front here. Obviously we have a little door here that leads out to the eating area, but also doubles as obviously another entrance into the restaurant itself. Over here on the sides, we got obviously the parking lot along with some handicap spots and pedestrian crossing and all that stuff. And right here is the doors inside, which actually have not been put on, so that's something that needs to be fixed. But just like the Chick-fil-A, there really is no interior for it, as you know, unfortunately, really interior is this kind of a pain to do, and I really only plan to do an interior for some of the main structures and stuff like that that really kind of matter. And a little McDonald's like this or anything doesn't really need a interior, unless one day I'm like really in the mood to build a McDonald's interior, but who knows. But yeah, you know, paying attention to a lot of the realistic features of McDonald's, we try to incorporate and make it extremely realistic as much as possible. And with that, you know, we have the little kind of check-in parking spots. So this is where if you order your food through the app, you can pull in here, check in, and they'll bring the food out to you. Also, they'll sometimes send you over here if your food is taking too long, and they will send you over here to wait and stuff like that. So that's also pretty cool there. We have the McDonald's written in banners there, so in case you couldn't tell it's a McDonald's, it's right there plain in writing. Little side door here, obviously for the workers to be able to get across and deliver the food here, but also just another little exit for you know, customers and stuff like that. We have the window where you get your food and the window where you pay for your food. And as we wrap around the drive-thru like this, we have obviously two ordering stations, and it's nice split in half just like that, which looks cool. But, you know, as I mentioned, there's a lot of detail to it. You know, we have a access way up to the roof up here. We have a door here for the employees, electrical box, and also something a lot of people don't think of, a emergency shutoff for the gas, as it's kind of standard for pretty much most buildings, if not all. I don't know about residential buildings, but they have to have a gas shutoff valve that allows fire departments and stuff like that to shut off the gas in case there is the building's on fire or there's a fire nearby or something, just to prevent, you know, explosions and just, you know, all hell breaking loose type of scenarios. So that's what is going on there. And also, you know, we have the little clearance here that has the clearance of how high your vehicle, you know, cannot be to make it under, and it actually is lined up to kind of how it is over here, give or take maybe a block or something like that. But yeah, so it's kind of lined up in that kind of sense, so it's pretty cool there. And we even have the dumpsters over here, and overall really cool, really nice and everything like that. Now, in building the McDonald's, one problem that we encountered, which you guys did not see in the time lapse, but one problem I did have was the McDonald's kind of broke into the fire station area, which was, kind of a problem, not that big of a deal really, but it's something I definitely wanted to, try to, I guess, make it flow, work better. And what I decided to go and do here was build up the terrain around the McDonald's to create a nice retaining wall, create like a little bit more depth to the area instead of just having, these, smooth land everywhere. I wanted to kind of create a little bit something going on here. And so we have this little hill here that's kind of been kind of cut into, so the McDonald's kind of cut into it, and then the fire station has kind of cut into it as well. And this, the tanks here that we had for the foam or whatever, the fire retardant and stuff like that, is now kind of incorporated a little bit into this hill, and there's not really much of a way to pull a truck around this way. I mean, some of the smaller brush trucks and stuff like that could easily get back here, but the air trucks will probably have to be backed in or pulled in and then backed out and stuff like that to get loaded up, which is something that we kind of had to sacrifice. It's obviously not the most ideal, but I think it definitely looks fine in the end. I really don't have any complaints or problems with it. And as you can see, the wall kind of flows around the side here and connects up, and I'm actually really happy with the wall. It just kind of adds a nice look to the area, a nice little, depth, I guess you can say, and all the trees and stuff like that kind of create a little blockage from the McDonald's and the fire station, stuff like that, so not crazy seeing into it and all that stuff. So really happy the way that came out. The fire station itself has kind of been edited, so this area is still kind of in progress. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but you can see here just a difference kind of going on here. We have the parking area kind of changed up here. Also, some of the materials used have been changed up, so I've really been liking the light gray concrete. It just absolutely looks fantastic, so I've been incorporating that into the base here, as you can see, and swapping out some blocks and stuff like that. I'm even considering doing it over here as well, just because I love it so much. But yeah, so that's kind of been replacing the ground textures, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Over here, one of those things is we have this huge area that's left open here. I need to fill it in, so I'm having kind of like a little runoff area where they store some F-16s that are not in use. So obviously we have a lot of F-16s here, but since, the F-35s are kind of starting to come into play here, some of these F-16s that were stationed here are kind of put more back in a storage type role, and they're kind of just sitting here. Maybe some of them were broken down or something, we repairs or whatever, so it's just kind of like a runoff area right here is pretty much all that is. And then we have, obviously different gear and different stuff kind of piled up here. And one thing I kind of liked here was the addition of this little like portable building here. So, nothing real fancy there, but it's just kind of a cool little portable, which looks cool, and it just adds a little bit of something going on to this area as well. And this project over here, I'm not going to really go into too much for it because it's obviously something that's going to be a whole separate video in itself. But this here is the start of the base's post office, so pretty cool. All bases obviously have a post office where soldiers can obviously receive and send mail. So it's all based USPS, so that's what we're kind of working on here with a post office and everything like that. So that's kind of the new project that's been in the works here, and obviously it's not done. Now we're not really close to being done and what we want to do for that area, but it'll be cool to have that definitely in. And basically discussing future plans here. The main kind of plan is to expand out that way, I think. I think that's probably going to be the direction we'll be heading. As for everything else, we still have a lot of work that obviously needs to be done over as we move into that area. We have the C-130 hangars that are way over there, which need to be complete still. But I think the best direction for us to move with the space is obviously going to be shifting our way down this way. I have some really good ideas for this, and this is where I want to start get into the A-10s, the F-35s, and stuff like that. So some of the more, kind of, cool aircraft. Not to say that the F-15 and F-16 aren't cool, but definitely want to get into those and get those up and running. So definitely a lot of work going on in the base. We're making some good progress, despite, basically that long hiatus, I guess, for the base. overall, good stuff is all coming all around, and you know, again, big thanks to all you guys for supporting the series, loving the series. And, you know, I know the past 2 episodes of Chick-fil-A McDonald's are not the most interesting stuff when it comes to a military base, but, you know, everything, you know, kind of has a purpose, and, you know, there's a lot more to military bases than just, you know, tank depots and jet hangars and stuff like that. But I can definitely promise you guys I'm going to try to get something like that hopefully coming out for you guys in the near future. Anyways, that right there is going to pretty much wrap up this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments, suggestions, all that stuff down in the comments below, obviously. Let me know what you guys think about the airbase, what you guys have any ideas for, and everything like that, because obviously the more ideas we get, the better off we can make this base. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Jerick 204, and I'll see you guys next time.